Hello everyone, my name is Angelina with Succinct Planners, and today we're going to discuss digital planners and how to use them. You probably have a lot of questions if you're thinking about getting started with digital planning, and it can seem a bit daunting at first, but not to worry. I will demystify the world of digital planning so that you can achieve planner peace. Today I will be doing this with the Xoto app on my Surface Pro on Windows, but you can use any other PDF editing app such as GoodNotes and apply the same information used here to any other device such as an iPad. There's also a free sample digital planner linked below so that you can see if it's the right fit for you. First, what is a digital planner? Just like paper planners, digital planners will have their own unique theme and style, but there are some shared fundamentals. Digital planners are usually in the form of a PDF, which you can purchase online as an instant download, or you can make your own. But what is a PDF? It's short for portable document format, and this format is primarily used to make files that cannot be easily modified, but you still want to easily share or print them. So unlike sending a Microsoft Word document to someone where they can change and edit anything easily, you send a PDF for things like documents or forms that you need someone to sign, where you need them to add something to it like their signature, but not change any of the content very easily. All that to say, you cannot easily modify the PDF itself. You cannot move around the elements that are already there. To show you, let's hop into my computer and we'll get to some examples here. For instance, if this is your planner, you cannot move any of these elements. However, you can add to this document, and that's where PDF editors come in. These apps will vary depending on what type of operating system you use and what app will be compatible with it. If you use iOS, such as Apple or Macs, you'll lean towards GoodNotes. If you use Windows, OS, or Android, you'll lean towards Xoto, Memoji Note, NoteShelf, or other apps. So planner fundamentals between digital and paper. The fundamentals of any planner, paper or digital, is that they'll have a cover, months, weeks, sometimes days, depending on the planner, and a notes section. Every planner will have its own theme, some tailored for teachers, students, moms, finance, you name it. This one in particular here, and what Succinct Planner is all about, is making planners focused around your values with these bonus pages and worksheets to help you incorporate your values into your daily life. Similarly to paper planners, you'll have the option of dated or undated setups. You can use a dated one such as this. One benefit to an undated digital planner is that you can make a copy of it and then have that copy be a template for you to reuse year over year, saving you money. For setting up your digital planner in Xoto, you'll start by downloading the Xoto app. Then insert your PDF from your Windows computer or Android phone. Xoto will automatically save any changes you make to that location on your computer where you pull the file from. And I'll show you that in real time after we make some edits. Now, how do you navigate your digital planner? Unlike your tangible paper ones that you can just sift through, you will need, again, the PDF editor to navigate through it, or even just Adobe will help you click the links that will take you from one page to another. So the way it works is that they're usually hyperlink tabbed areas so that you can navigate from page to page. They will usually look like tabs to emulate paper planning, and it keeps that aesthetic, but you can use any of the apps that we've talked about to navigate those tabs. So most digital planners will have those tabs, and they'll usually have links for weeks as well, and then of course for days for the one that are daily planners. Sometimes there's even navigation via an index page or a table of contents. This one has all 52 weeks easily accessible at a glance from this one page so that you can easily find what you're looking for. Instead of going from month to week, you just go to this one page, and any of the 52 weeks of the year you'll find exactly what you're looking for. I also find that Xoto will recall where you left off, so when you reopen the application the next day, it takes you where you left off, making it really convenient and easy to use. When you first get your planner, I recommend just checking out all the tabs, see where they lead, check out the layout of your planner. It might look different from this, but I want to give you a rundown on how to use it. So anything that looks like it's clickable, try clicking it. You can use your pencil, iPad pencil, obviously finger, or clicking on it and seeing where that takes you and how that works. They're usually pretty intuitive depending on how they're designed. Now for the fun part. We can begin to fill out your digital planner. We can start making plans and tracking progress. Any of the PDF editing apps will allow you to write or type in it or even add digital stickers. We'll get to more on that later. So first, how do you write on it? We'll start at the beginning with the cover page. This one has a space for you to personalize it with your name. So you can use a text box to write your name in it, which I prefer because I'm not very good with the pencil, although you can write as well. And with either of these options, you can change the color, size, background color, opacity. If you want to use your pencil, you would use what shows up as the ink button. You'd hover over any of these buttons and it'll give you the name of it, but won't necessarily tell you what it does, although it should be pretty intuitive if you're used to doing things on a computer. But if not, stick around and I'll give you all the ins and outs of what each one of them does. So again, with the text box, just write some text here. Then you can pencil in anything as well with a stylus. But with the free one, right now in 2021, there are a couple of issues, but there are also workarounds. And I just want you to know what they are in advance and give you an honest review of how to use this before you invest any time in it and decide maybe it's either not right for you or you'll get frustrated because you think it would work one way and then it doesn't. So one issue that I have found is that when you have a text box and you want to copy and paste that same text, it may change the text font, so you'll have to change that back. But if you go into either of those two boxes and you need to make one small change, it'll affect the other box. It doesn't matter if it's the original or the copy, they both will get changed. So if you make a copy of something, make sure that that will not change at all. The way I use this effectively is with my habit tracker. Week to week, it is not changing for me. Maybe yours will, in which case you would just make a new one, and that's totally fine. Since the point of habits are to be consistent, they shouldn't be changing too much. But that's where I can use this without any issue because I'm not changing any of the text there. And I do love the aspect of copying and pasting because that's one of the time-saving elements of digital planning that I enjoy because I'm very time conscientious, and if you're watching this as a planner person, you probably are also. And I also like to use the copy and paste for any recurring tasks that usually aren't going to change. So for example, I have Toastmasters a couple of times a week, every week, and those will be recurring tasks that will not change the information within the text box. If I need to delete one because I'm out of town or something, it won't affect any of the other ones. You just can't change any of the text within that box, or it affects the other ones as well. And to be fair, it doesn't always do that, but I would just err on the side of caution because it's better than going back and having to fix things. The next page I want to guide you to is this at-a-glance calendar that we were talking about earlier. You can use it as any sort of tracker, so a mood tracker, period tracker. You can track medical issues where you're trying to find patterns, and it's more like backwards planning instead of forward planning. But what I like to do here is use the highlighter tool, and this is where you can just highlight the days and make a legend for yourself on what those colors mean. Instead of, again, flipping month to month and week to week, you just can see everything here all at once. And that's, again, just saving you time. But let's say you're in a foul mood one day and you mark it red, you're angry. And later on you're looking at it and you're like, why was I angry that day? You could go to that week and see if any of those events or tasks, or if you wrote yourself a note there, is going to spark your memory. Or you can, in addition to highlighting, add a little comment and give it some context and let yourself know, got in an argument with my sister over something silly or something like that, whatever the situation is there. Or if you were in a really great mood, you can highlight something, fabulous that happened to you that day. Things like that, where you just kind of want to add some context. You can write these little comments that are going to be hidden. One thing to note is that when you do make these comments, do not put them over the link, because when you go back to it and you go to click on the comment, if it's over a link, the app will click the link instead and then just take you back to the week. So put it on the side of a link. So for example, we'll put it on the side right here, and that will be the easiest way, in my opinion, to get that to work. If you find another workaround, let me know. Onto images and digital stickers. You can add an image by selecting the stamper icon, which gives you the option to pull a picture from your gallery or to take a picture. My advice, if you like to crop or modify your pictures with any effects or anything like that, I recommend you use PicCollage or something else before you add it here, because within the app itself, it's not meant to be an image editor, so you're not going to be able to crop any images or add any effects or anything like that. So make sure it's set up the way that you want it to be going into your planner. Another thing to note is the way the app imports pictures is going to be a one size fits all. So if, for example, your stickers or pictures, like mine, are a little 1 by 1 inch sort of sticker, it'll blow it up into about 4 by 5 inches or something like that, and it looks a little grainy and fuzzy and overly or under pixelated. So you have to resize it. So that's one thing you can do. You can resize your images, which I love with digital planning, because you're making it work for you instead of trying to mold yourself to the paper planners and paper stickers that exist. You're making it work for you within the space that you have. And so if you don't have a lot of space, you can make the sticker really small. And if you have more space, then of course make it bigger. And really being able to customize it and give it your personality and make it really work for you. So the way I see planning in general is not a right or a wrong way, just a way that works for you and helps you follow through with your plans. Because while all of this is neat and useful, I love tech, and a lot of it can be really neat designs, none of that matters if you're not going to follow through with your plans. So I hope you see all of this as just suggestions and not necessarily the one and only way you should plan. I'm just trying to give you the tools that will hopefully help you follow through with your plans. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox. So again, back to the digital stickers. Any image can basically be a sticker. I prefer to use ones that have a transparent background so that it blends in better with your planner. And of course, you can choose not to and have like white background, blue, whatever your preference is, or just the image in general. But the sizing issue really threw me for a loop because I thought that my stickers were just completely out of whack, and you might have the same feeling for a second. You're like, goodness, what's happening? This way you're prepared and you know what to expect if you use this app. So if you're a sticker person, you're going to love it. I didn't used to be when I was doing paper planning, because I somehow made my planners look messy and busy, and I'd see other people's spreads that were gorgeous and they knew what they were lining up, and they would have their stickers first and then write on them, and I just couldn't forward plan enough, and things would move around too much, and of course you can't undo a sticker in real life, and it just never worked for me. I gave all my stickers and washi tape away to friends, and if you're watching this, you're welcome. I just needed to give them a better home because they weren't getting put to use here. But with digital stickers, I am so much happier. It looks so much better. I can use some of them as checkboxes. I will use them as check marks because, again, if I try to use the pencil, it does not look good, and I have to keep trying again and again. Another thing with the inking tool, if you're going to use your pencil, within this app, if you write anything with it, you have to save and then exit. If you exit, it won't save anything, and then that's just a little quirk that you need to be mindful of. Again, a lot of it should be intuitive because it's giving you those options, so then you have an idea of what to do. You can also add in shapes or lines. I will use these tools to draw lines for me instead of me using the pencil. Again, they work similarly to all the other ones where you can change the color and opacity and check out all these other options here. So it is a great tool. The app is a great tool to use for your first time if you're just getting into it. I've used it for about a year now and I haven't had any major issues. Although if you do run into anything, there's usually a workaround. Please don't freak out. Just take a deep breath and realize all of the tools that you have here to make it work for you. Another neat feature about this app is that you can copy and paste images and text from one PDF within the app to another PDF. As you can see, I have a couple of PDFs open here, and what's nice about that is if you've cropped an image to the size that you want, you don't want to have to go searching for it again throughout the folders on your computer or something. You can just copy it and then paste it in the other PDF. I like to do that sometimes if I'm using two at a time. Maybe I'll use one for personal, one for work, and one for projects, things like that. Some people like to put everything in one planner, and sometimes I'll use two. Regardless, even if it's not a planner and it's another PDF that you got from work or school or something, you can copy some of the information there if you had to write anything and then paste it into your planner, which is just really neat feature of that to save you time. And if you're here, again, I think you're likely going to be pretty time conscientious like myself. Another example of using that way is if you get the digital planner sample that I have linked below, you will fill out some items there, and then if you decide to get the full year planner and you're like, oh, I don't want to refill that again, instead of having two for no reason, just go ahead and copy anything that you did in the first one onto the new one here. And it may have to be element by element, but this should still save you quite a bit of time. Or you can take a screenshot of that one page and then paste it replacing the other page, so that it looks exactly the same and you don't have to redo all of that work. The last feature that I want to tell you about with this app is to flatten some of the elements that you've added to it. So let's say you make some additions to your planner that you don't want to have changed later, like you don't want it to accidentally get deleted or anything. You can do this by flattening it. There's two ways to do this in this app. You can use the multi-select or lasso tool. Both of you will bring up these exact same 6 options. I don't know why there's 2 tools, but you can click either of them and either of them will bring up this flatten option. Now, remember when we started with the PDF that you couldn't edit? Well, that's what flattening does. And it makes it so that it is now permanently part of your PDF and you can no longer change the color, shape, size, or delete it. It even gives you this really big warning saying, are you sure you want to do this? This is the only feature I've found where it actually does this. And all of the other editing apps out there work similarly. Well, they have this sort of option and they all have the same features that we talked about before. So they will have some sort of way to add text, writing, images, and then the flattening portion. Now, I do want to let you know about a little nuance here that I ran into where I tried to flatten some text and it still got deleted when I had another text box over that area. So I recommend doing this when you're totally done with your PDF document, then flattening it and not make any other changes. That seems to work okay. But again, this is the free version here. It works great for the most part. I generally don't need to flatten things anyway. I want to let you know about that feature, but I don't think it is super pertinent to planning because we usually don't want to make things permanent anyway. A lot of the big bonuses to doing this is that it is totally customizable. So in a way, I feel like that limits you because you're likely not going to be sharing this with someone who you don't want to edit it. But if you're going to be using this app, you'll find other ways to use it. So I use it for work a lot, for signing documents. I use it for Toastmasters so that I can fill out a form and send it to my colleagues. And I even see people using it for D&D, which is pretty neat. So I wanted to give you all the information that I could because you're probably not just going to use this for planning. You'll find other reasons to use it also. So I want to set you up for success and give you all the information available right now. So again, this app's great for the most part. I'll give it an A- overall or a B+ when you think about the image situation. And so long as you know how to get your photos ready beforehand, you'll be completely set. Lastly, make sure you save your changes. I will go back to the place where my file is saved on my computer, and when we open it back up, it should, 1, take me to where we left off, and 2, save all the edits that we made. You can back it up in addition to this copy here by adding it to an external drive, uploading it to Google Drive, or any other cloud service you prefer. In summary, we covered a lot today. You now know what a digital planner is, essentially a PDF. You now know how to navigate it with your editing app and how to fill it out, whether it be with text, pencil, images, adding comments, highlighting. You can make it completely your own. We reviewed the copying and pasting, how to flatten it, and of course, how to save your planner. So remember, there is no right or wrong way to plan, just ways that you prefer and that work for you. I take elements of various planning concepts for my planning, such as time batching, habit trackers, meal planning, and whatever your preferences are, if you prefer to cross out tasks versus highlighting or checking them off, the choice is up to you. The ones that you're going to stick with most easily, I'd say, are the right ones for you so that you can follow through with your planning. Now, after this video, you'll be able to use your digital planner with confidence and hopefully achieve planner peace. Don't forget your free digital planner sample linked below. You'll have the knowledge to guide yourself through using it well. And if you're ready to take the plunge and get a full year digital planner, I have a discount for you below as well. So it works for all the planners within my shop. And if you still have any questions about it, let me know. Was there anything that I may have left out or that you're still wondering about? Leave me a comment below and I'll get back to you. If you are interested in more of a deep dive walkthrough of these bonus pages within this planner, I will be having a video coming up soon walking through that. Depending on when you're watching this, it may or may not be out. So check up here or up here. And if you are an Android phone user, I do have an Xoto video specifically for Android, and I'll link that as well. Well, again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.